Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11. The Harrisville Harmony Weekend Arts and Crafts Show concludes with the parade. Plus, Pickin' for People performs at a local church this evening. And the Alcona Township community gathers for the 12th annual Black River Bridge Walk. We'll have those stories plus your local weather and sports. The news that affects you starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between. This is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. We are your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Neil Liwanag. Today, the Harrisville Harmony Weekend Arts and Crafts Show celebrated the last day with a parade. Despite the hot and humid weather, nothing stopped the community from enjoying a parade full of entertainment. Various types of antique cars, floats, and even Ronald McDonald wowed the crowd with fun and excitement. Harrisville Arts Council President Judy Pine says that all the hard work and preparation pays off by seeing people smiling and having a great time. Pine also adds that this might be the finest Harmony Weekend in recent years, and at the end of the day, it is all about the people.
They're having a good time. They seem to, this show is probably the best one that they have in their itinerary of shows that they go to. We get a lot of compliments that way, so that's what is nice. You know, we're providing something for their lifestyle.
For more information on future events, please visit HarrisvilleArtsCouncil.com. Tonight, the Beaver Lake Community Church were treated with a performance by Pickin' for People. Pickin' for People is a bluegrass country gospel band that travels throughout the area to help raise funds for food and other causes. About 7 years ago, band member Jack Williams got together with several folks and came up with the idea that they can lend a hand to our local communities. Williams declares that he and his bandmates get a joy playing in front of people while making a contribution for those in need. And he also encourages everyone to help others.
Something to contribute to the community. We're not looking for a lot in return or anything like that. We just want to be a help. We're just hope that everybody out there finds something they can do to contribute to the community also.
For more information on Pickin' for People's next performance, visit facebook.com and search Pickin' for People. Over the weekend, the Alcona Township celebrated the 12th annual Black River Bridge Walk to kick off the Labor Day weekend. Black River Bridge. It may look like a normal bridge. People drive and walk through it on a daily basis. But for the Alcona Township community, this bridge is a place where people can get together and make a difference. The 12th annual Black River Bridge is an event that raises money for Black River Park and honors local heroes. It started with a bake sale, then a walk on the bridge. Yes, even Batman, Thanos, and their friends made an appearance for this special day.
And about 3 or 4 years ago, we started dressing up, just having fun. Dressing up as superheroes or any other thing. We just bring excitement to the community. Money goes towards the dredging along with township funds, and it's really what it's all about. Taking care of our community and the people can use it.
There was another successful event here at the Black River Bridge, but of course, the true heroes are the people of the community.
Being a volunteer, I guess it's all about community pride, and we live here and feel like we always got to give back, and I've been doing it for 19 years, and we love where we live. We know most of these faces here. I know all of them personally.
The day capped off with a softball game as people showed their love and pride of being a part of the Black River community. In Black River, Neil Liwanag, WBKB News. Yesterday, Beaver Lake Park hosted Alban Multimedia's 10th year anniversary. Every month, Beaver Lake holds special events, and yesterday was no different as they welcomed Alban in celebration to the businesses turning 10. Beaver Lake manager Earl Martin says that they plan a kids' carnival as a farewell to the summer, but why not make it a bigger event by having Alban's presence? Martin adds that it is important for the community to utilize the amazing parks, and Alban general manager Ron Siegel agrees.
Support your local parks, because if we don't, we might lose them, and we don't want that, because it's a beautiful place. And thank all the staff of Beaver Lake Park, because if it wouldn't be for them, this wouldn't happen. We have a lot of volunteers.
So we partnered with Beaver Lake Park down here to celebrate and reach out to the community and kind of give back a little bit and remind people that that's what our mission is, and that's to embrace the community.
For more information on future events at Beaver Lake Park, visit alpenacounty.org. With the season just a couple of weeks away, the Alpena Flyers are already busy at work with another fundraiser. The Flyers held a hot dog lunch just outside of Neiman's. The fundraiser helps all the team's travels and expenses for this upcoming hockey season. The team will be traveling to different cities in the East Coast for several away games. The Flyers appreciate all the support they've been getting from the community, and they know these games will prove to be important as they look forward to taking the next step in their young hockey careers.
We really appreciate the support. We had a mini golf fundraiser last week. This week we're selling hot dogs, and we really appreciate the support, and hopefully we can see some fans out at the games getting rowdy.
With these showcases, it really helps with our exposure, getting noticed with the colleges and pro teams.
Tickets are now available at the Northern Lights Arena. Join the Flyers for another fundraiser on October 2nd at Sandbar and Grill. Coming up next on WBKB News at 11, police are investigating a double homicide in Saginaw. And we have some good news for you Labor Day drivers. Find out why next. Welcome back. For our state news, Saginaw police discovered the bodies of a man and woman inside a car early this morning. This is the 5th and 6th homicide in the city this year. Nick Lully has the details.
This is the scene here behind me where violence broke out overnight, and unfortunately 2 people were killed.
Officers were dispatched to Eaton Street near DuPont Street in the city of Saginaw for a report of 2 people slumped over in a vehicle.
It was that call at 7:30 this morning that Lieutenant David Kaiser says led police to discover the 5th and 6th homicide victims of the year in the city of Saginaw. The man and woman they found inside this vehicle here were dead.
As you can see behind me, they've got the Michigan State Police Crime Lab out here processing the vehicle and gathering evidence.
Neighbors were too scared to talk on camera, fearing for their own safety. But they say violence like this is nothing new for the area. Nonetheless, Michigan State Police is asking for anyone who knows something to come forward so they can solve this senseless crime.
It's a joint investigation with the Michigan State Police and the Saginaw City Police Department. We are asking that anybody in the area, any neighbors that may have heard gunshots or anything else, please contact the Michigan State Police Major Crimes Unit here in Saginaw.
And there still aren't many details about this case, but as soon as we learn more information, we will keep you updated. Reporting in Saginaw, Nick Lully, WNEM TV 5.
In your Money Watch, the U.S. unemployment rate hit a 7-year low. The Labor Department says the U.S. economy added 170,000 jobs in August. While that's less than expected, the unemployment rate still fell to 5.1%. The Federal Reserve will use the data from this report when it meets later this month to discuss possibly raising interest rates. Honda is recalling almost 18,000 of its 2015 Fit vehicles. The company says it needs to replace a part that could cause the engine to stall. If you're hitting the road this Labor Day weekend, you won't be alone. AAA estimates 30 million people will drive this weekend. And some good news, cheap gas. Prices for the Labor Day are the lowest they've been in 11 years. If you're heading to the pump, GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan helped us find the highest and lowest gas prices locally and across the state. The lowest price for gas in Alpena is coming in at $2.24 at Murphy Station. The highest is $2.26 at Marathon. Across the state, the lowest price at the pump is $1.93 in Lambertville. And the highest price is coming in at $3.49 in Grosse Pointe. There's still much more to come on WBKB News at 11. Kyle Logan will be in with sports, and I'll be right back with your full weather forecast. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. It is now time to look at the weather. All right, today's high was at 90 and your low was at 62 degrees. Normal high was 73, low was 50. Record high back in 1947 was 94 degrees, and your record low back in 1938 was 30 degrees. Sunrise was at 7:02 a.m., sunset at 8:03 p.m. Current conditions now, 77 degrees outside with a humidity of 76%. And your current radar, some minor clouds coming in towards the northeast area. And tonight, it's mostly cloudy, 70% outside for tonight. Southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, you have a chance of thunderstorms with temperatures of 81 degrees, southwest winds at 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a low of 64 degrees, northwest winds at 5 miles per hour. And your extended forecast: Tuesday, showers likely with a chance of thunderstorms. Wednesday, a possibility of showers again. Thursday, we'll see another chance of thunderstorms. And for Friday and Saturday, partly sunny skies just in time for the weekend. And it's now time for today's Photo of the Day. Today's photo was sent in by Roger Stanovec of Ossinik. Now, this is a photo Roger took of a frog trying to hitch a ride, and he jumped in as soon as Roger started moving. On a hot day like this, I don't blame this little guy for trying to catch some breeze. Thank you, Roger, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkv11.com. In your Health Watch this evening, a new study shows girls with autism behave differently than boys with the disorder. Researchers at Stanford University School of Medicine found autistic girls were less likely to have repetitive behaviors such as hand flapping and restrictive behaviors such as being inflexible with routines. Researchers in England and Italy say surgery may be the best long-term option to control type 2 diabetes in obese people. They found patients who had bariatric surgery were more likely to have their diabetes under control 5 years later than patients who received standard treatment. And new research shows an inexpensive drug, TXA, prevents excessive blood loss during surgery. Doctors in Canada used the drug on about 400 patients who had hip or knee replacement surgery. They say the medicine helped reduce transfusion rates by more than 40%. Well, in national news, tens of thousands of immigrants crossed into Germany and Austria this weekend after those countries opened their borders. In the meantime, Pope Francis called on European Catholics to open up their homes to refugee families. Brian Webb reports.
Germany opened its arms to over 10,000 refugees Sunday, many welcomed with songs, food, and candy for children. It's a fraction of the millions fleeing war and poverty in the Middle East.
A plane started to bomb us, okay? I left everything.
Many migrants had been held up in Hungary, but today government officials allowed thousands without visas to cross the country on trains, buses, and on foot. America is being called on to do more.
Over the 4 years of the war, the U.S. has only taken 1,400 Syrian refugees in total.
The island of Lesbos, Greece, is the first European stop for many migrants. This boat carrying 1,800 passengers arrived Sunday. Locals say boats big and small have been arriving 24/7. But police have clashed with refugees in camps who are frustrated by the slow admission process.
There's no bathrooms, they don't give us food, they don't give us even something to let us be warm at night.
From St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis, the grandson of Italian immigrants to Argentina, called on Catholics across Europe to each take in one migrant family.
Sports is coming up next, and Kyle Logan is here with a preview. Kyle?
Neil, tonight in sports, the Tigers were looking to take the series from the Indians. The Sprint Cup regulars take center stage at Darlington, and Day 3 coverage of the PGA Tour in Massachusetts. Also, a big event over in Rogers City came to a close today. For all the details, you have to come on back. Sports is next. This weekend, Rogers City hosted the annual Fat Hogs Fishing Frenzy. The marina welcomed fishermen from all over, all looking to claim the coveted prize of biggest catch. This is the 8th year of the tournament's existence, and a total of 42 boats signed up to compete in this year's two-day event. Competition began on Saturday, and it was $150 per boat to enter. Competitors were looking to catch the biggest salmon, trout, and walleye they could find, and a cash prize was given to the crew that hauled in the largest of each on the day. But while the competition is important year in and year out, to many, the chance to give back to the community means so much more.
We have 50/50s, raffles, and the money that we have left over doesn't go into our pockets. We donate it to a local charity every year. This year is the Boy Scouts of America and the Cub Scouts. Last year was the Huron Humane Society. And I think that's one key aspect, that not only do we want to bring people into Rogers City to have a good time catching fish, but we want to do something constructive in our community to be sure that local organizations and stuff like that are struggling get a helping hand, so to speak.
A ton of fish were caught, and many of those were given to a good cause as well. Despite many great finds on the day, only a few teams could be declared winners. But there were a multitude of fish that came in over 15 pounds, and with that success, the committee hopes they have an even bigger turnout next year. The rubber match between the Tigers and the Indians, the fans at Comerica were treated to a pitcher's duel. Justin Verlander on the mound for Detroit, and he had everything working early on. Top second, Carlos Santana watches a fastball in the inside corner. Thank you, come again. 2 batters later, Abraham Almonte swing and a miss on a nasty curve. Top 3, Michael Martinez, different pitch, but the same result. And you can have a seat as well. Unfortunately, Indian starter Cody Anderson was dealing as well. Bottom 2, Nick Castellanos, swing and a miss, young man. Bottom 3rd, Andrew Romine, that would be a backwards K. Both guys kept things scoreless going into the 6th inning. That's where the Indians took over. 2 men on, none out, and Francisco Linder lines one to deep. The gap in right center, that's a bases clearing triple and a 2-run lead for the Cleveland Indians. 2 batters later, Carlos Santana exacts some revenge and singles up the middle, scoring Linder to make it 3-0. They would add 1 more in the 9th, and it was more than enough. Once again, the Tigers provided 0 run support for JV, and Detroit loses this one 4-0. Afterwards, the skipper said Anderson simply deserved the win.
3-2.
We hadn't really seen him. Fastball changeup was a good pitch for him. He used a cutter quite a bit. He did a nice job. You know, we hit some balls decent, barreled some balls. Ball didn't seem to be traveling for us. It felt like some guys hit some balls well and the wind knocked it down. But you got to tip your cap to him. He did a nice job.
After another series loss, the Tigers will look to regroup. Fortunately, the team will get to stay in Detroit as they welcome the Rays tomorrow in the opener of a 3-game set. Sunday gave us day 3 of the Deutsche Bank Championship, and it was moving day. Some guys shot up the leaderboard while others plummeted, and all in all, setting up for an exciting day of golf on Monday. 3rd round at the TPC Boston, your leader after day 2, Charlie Hoffman, birdie here on 1, gives him a 4-shot lead to start the day. Unfortunately, that was it for his success as he shot 5 over. The biggest mover on Sunday, Henrik Stenson. He started at 7 under but came out on fire. Tee shot here on the short par 4 4th, and it finds the green. That gives him this chance coming up for an eagle, and wouldn't you know it, he would nail it. Stenson moves to 10 under. He was 6 under on the day. Another guy to keep your eye on tomorrow is Ricky Fowler. The American shot 4 under on the day. One of these birdies right here on the 2nd. It's tight near the top. Let's take a look at the top 5 going into the final round. With that 6 under, Stenson finds himself with a 1-shot lead over Ricky Fowler. The American Sean O'Hare and the Aussie Matt Jones tied at 11 under. They shot 4 and 3 under respectively. And rounding out the top 5 is Russell Knox. The final round will continue tomorrow, and the top 70 afterwards will move on to next weekend. Sunday, it was the Sprint Cup's turn to do battle with the Lady in Black. Longtime NASCAR fans couldn't have been happier as the Southern 500 was finally back in Darlington on Labor Day weekend. This race was a staple on the schedule from 1950 to 2003, and the fans' voices were finally heard. The Southern 500 was the first 500-mile stock car race, and on Sunday, it did not disappoint. The Lady in Black has truly been unforgiving tonight. 17 cautions so far, which ties the track record. The Southern 500 is still going on, but at last check, Brad Keselowski is in first. Kurt Busch, he actually wrecked, so Kyle Larson moves up to 3rd. 4, Martin Truex Jr., Jeff Gordon in 5th, and a slew of guys still on the lead lap as they're looking to all make a final push. Still about 50 laps left to go in the race, but it seems to be like an exciting finish is going to happen, Neil, with really just 2 races left, with this one tonight at Darlington, next week at Richmond. A lot of guys are trying to make that final push to get into the chase for the Cup. So a win tonight automatically locks in some of these guys, so they're really trying to push hard.
Who got to win the whole thing?
To win the whole thing, it's too hard to tell. There's a lot of racing left to go. All these guys are trying to just get into the chase, and then it's a whole nother dog sled, a whole nother playoff. So really in NASCAR, the excitement just begins as the amount of races dwindle towards the chase, which happens at Richmond next week. And then really, it's a whole new competition. You kind of wipe everything clean, and really everyone starts anew. I'm going to go for the veteran, Jeff Gordon. It's his final year, so that would certainly be a nice ride off in the sunset for him. So number 24 is number 1. That's very true. All right, thanks, Kyle. Thanks, coming up next on WBKB News at 11. So why is this teenage girl driving around a little Barbie Jeep? Find out why next. Welcome back. A Texas State student is becoming an internet sensation. She drives around in a Barbie Jeep after getting a DWI, and it's drawing a lot of attention. Here's her story.
She's what you would probably call a class clown.
Her family will tell you what's going on with Tara Monroe is no surprise.
That's Tara. She's always got a little drama going on.
This young woman from Kingwood is going to college in San Marcos. One night she got pulled over there for an alleged DWI, and her dad was not happy.
I went and put my bike rack on my Jeep and proceeded to drive to San Marcos and told her, the Jeep's mine, here's your bike, this is your new form of transportation.
Instead, she went on Craigslist and bought a used Barbie Jeep. Then she started riding it around San Marcos, telling people her daddy took her car away.
She's a diva. She doesn't walk. She doesn't sweat. She's not going to ride a bike. She's got to get somewhere. She's got to figure out how she's going to get there. She's stubborn.
Now pictures of Tara Monroe are turning up on the internet. She's getting phone calls from reporters. And although she wouldn't talk to us on camera today, she admits she's a little freaked out by all the attention.
She is paying and continues to pay the penalty for her actions, and I want her and everyone else and all the kids in college that get out there and do this type of thing to learn from it and not do it.
The way her dad's talking, she's going to be driving that Barbie Jeep for a long time to come.
That's interesting. You know what? She could always just walk, right?
That's true, or ride a bike, or, the smartest option would probably be to avoid getting a DWI in the first place. Have a designated driver, have someone take your keys from you, or have the ability to take you home after you have a night out. That's always a smart plan to have, but certainly going forward and risking that is certainly something that she took that risk and it worked against her, but she found a way around it. But $60 for one of those Barbie Jeeps, I think I'd rather spend $60 on something else. So like you said, walk, ride a bike, jog, run to class, something more where you can exercise at least, I think would have been a lot safer choice.
I like how the dad was really strict though and put the law down, but she found a way to go around it and spend money on this little Barbie Jeep,
And I guess, at the end of the day, now she's become a legend at her own school, so I think that might be something she was probably looking for.
Legendary for the wrong reasons though,
exactly.
I think,
But, and remember, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, news updates anytime, day or night.
Or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV.
Well, that'll do it for tonight's show. Wake up with Erica Fernandez tomorrow morning at 6:30. Have a great Labor Day and good night, everybody.